Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Gym. Today I'm going to talk about addition. Now, what is addition? It is combining of things, joining them together, and it goes by several names, such as add, plus, altogether, total, both, combined, how many, increase, join, and sum. So when you see these words, it means that the question is asking you to count up. Now, before we start, I'd like to just talk a little bit about the equal sign. What exactly does it mean? It really means is identical to, and it goes by several different names. You can say equivalent, even, gives, identical, is, matches, or yields. So when you see these words, you know that two or more items are similar. They may not exactly be the same. For example, 8 plus 3 equals 11. They are not the same numbers, but they are identical or similar. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is how to add. Now, there are a few ways that you can use to add. You can use, for example, the number line. In this method, all you have to do is draw a line and write the numbers in equal spacing in running order underneath the line, like so, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for example, number 1, if you have a question that says 1 plus 2, it means that you have to begin with one smiley face over here, and then you add two more to it. So let's put two smiley faces underneath 2 and 3, and you use these little arrows at the top of the number line to indicate how many jumps there are going to be. So the first number 1, there's one jump, and the second number, there'll be two jumps because you add two smiley faces to it. So that's 1, 2, and you end up with 3. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. The next method is the method of using number bonds. This method is mainly for smaller numbers, like 8 plus 3 or simple two-digit numbers. If you don't know already about number bonds, please look at my earlier video that I have posted up. I've attached it in the link below. Now, 8 plus 3, from the number bond you know that 11 can be split up into 8 and 3, and so you immediately know that the answer is 11. Now, here is where your number bonds are going to come in really handy. You can use your number bonds to add numbers beyond 10 in a quicker way. So let's take the number 8 and 9. Now, to add this really quickly, you know that 9 and 1 makes 10. So what you try to do is to split 8 into 7 and 1. So now you can add 9 and 1, and that's 10. So all you have to do is to remember that 9 and 1 makes 10, and you have a 7 left. So now you add the 10 and 7, and that's 17. So that makes it so much quicker. So 8 plus 9 is equals to 17. Here's another example, 5 plus 8. Now, you know that if you add 2 to an 8, you get 10. So you try to split 5 into 3 and 2. And so 8 plus 2 is 10, and you remember 10. And then you have 3 remainder, so that's 10 plus 3, and that's 13. So 8 plus 5 equals 13. Now you will really appreciate knowing the number bonds between 11 and 19, as they will come in really useful in both addition and subtraction as well. Now I'm going to show you how to add two-digit number with a one-digit number using number bonds. So here's 18 plus 8. You know that 8 plus 2 will be 10. So you split the 18 up into 16 and 2. And now you have the 8 plus 2. That will give you 10. So you remember that. And now 10 plus 16, that would be 26. A much easier way to add 18 and 8, I think, is to split the 8 into 2 and 6. So you can join the 8 from the 18 plus the 2 from the 8 to make 20. And so 20 plus 6 is 26. Well, there are no hard and fast rules for which way to use. Just use whichever way is easier for you when it comes to maths. Using the number bonds, you can also extend the method to higher numbers. So for example, if you have two-digit numbers like 48 plus 38, there are many different ways in which you can add this quickly, but let's try the number bond method. So you know that 8 requires 2 to make 10. So you split the numbers into maybe 46 and 2, and 38 into 8 and 30. So 8 plus 2 is 10. And then you have 10 plus 30, that's 40. 40 plus 46, that's 86. The other easy way to add is also to just add 8 plus 8, which you should know that is 16. And 16 plus 40 plus 30 would give you 86. As you saw, these methods using number bonds can be really useful in mental sums as well, because you hardly need to use your fingers to count. You can do it in your head. The other method that I would like to show you how to add is using column addition method. Now this method is mainly for larger numbers. But before we start, you need to know your place values very well, such as ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, million, 10 millions, 100 millions. So make sure you know your place value before you start. Let's look at the number 9 plus 36. The first step is to always place the same value under each other. For example, the 9 is under the ones or unit value, and from 36, the number 6 is a ones or unit value, so these two should be placed underneath each other, like so. 9 plus, you add the 6, and then you put the 3 in front of the 6 in the tens position, and you draw two lines underneath 36, or the last number that is there. So, therefore, the first step to learning column method is to master placing the numbers in the correct position in a column. Here are some combinations worth trying so you get the hang of the place values. Just pause the video and write these numbers under the correct place values for the addition that it belongs to, and then restart once you've finished. Now let's do the fun bit. So we have 3 plus 35. We put the 3 under the ones or unit position, and then we put the 5 first under the 3 because it belongs to the ones, and we put the 3 in front of it in the tens position. That's step 1. Step 2, always add from the smallest place value to the largest, that is from right to left. In this case, it is 3 plus 5, and we know that 3 plus 5 is 8. So we write it in between the two lines that we have drawn. Step 3, we then add the next biggest value. In this case, it's 3. Now there is nothing above 3, so that means it's just 0. So 0 plus 3 is just 3, and you write 3 in between the two lines that you have drawn. So now the number becomes 38. And here's another example. 3530 plus 1235. Step 1, place the numbers under the correct place value. So you can just start off writing your 3530, and then underneath that, make sure you start from the right, put the 5 under the 0, the 3 under the 3, the 2 under the 5, and the 1 under the 3. And the next step is to always add from the smallest place value to the largest, that is from right to left. In this case, 0 plus 5 is 5. And then you move on to the tens column. 3 plus 3 is 6. Next, add the hundreds column. 5 plus 2 is 7. And finally, the thousands column. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's your answer. 3530 plus 1235 is equals to 4765. And that's all there is to it. In addition, thanks for watching. If you like my lesson, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Until next time, keep practicing.